What happens when you leave an 86 ATC200X and an 85 ATC350X alone in the garage overnight with the lights off? You end up with an 84 ATC110. Trikes just procreating right in the garage. I've been doing it all wrong buying them. I could have them for free, I guess. What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here, guys. In today's video, what we're going to attempt, and the reason I'm saying attempt is because I've never done this before. And chances are, if you're searching for this video, and you're not just one of my normal subscribers, and this is how you found my channel, you probably have never done this before either. So, probably better to hear from somebody that's going to go through the same struggles you're going to, not knowing what they're getting into, rebuilding their 1985-86 ATC350X forks. Let's get into it. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the stuff that I got here that we're going to need for this procedure. I'm going to go ahead and build one of these off camera first, so I have at least some knowledge and don't look like an idiot on camera, which usually happens anyway, but you know, who's counting, right? So yeah, let's take a look at what we got here, and I will turn the camera off, disassemble one of these, and I'm also going to let's talk about it real quick. Hold on. Alright, so you're definitely going to need one of these GarageMC stickers. Drop a comment if you want one. 1 for $5, 3 for $12, including shipping. Alright, shameless little plug there. Alright, so we got OEM inner seals, dust caps. I also got the O-ring and the Schrader valve to rebuild the cap on the end here, although I don't need those because my buddy over at Winter's Machining actually hand lathes brand new fork tube caps for this machine and several others. Check out Winter's Machining. You can also find those caps on eBay. They're really affordable too. So if you have a set on your trike that are chewed up a little bit, feel free to jump on over there and order a set up, man. He will get them right out to you. Usually has them in stock too. I know he has them for the 350X, the 250R, the liquid cooled one. I think he does it for the first gen 250R too, or second gen 250R. Not sure on what other models he does, but if he doesn't make them yet, you could send him a part and he'll remake it for you. He will do custom parts. So hit him up, man. Cool dude. Prices are reasonable. Shares the same passion we do too. Likes motorsports, trikes, quads, all that good stuff. So, alright. Let's talk about the rest of these things that we got here. Brand new OEM fork boots for the ATC350X. These fork tubes are 35 millimeters in diameter. The liquid cooled 250R is 39 millimeter in diameter. You could still get the OEM fork boots for the 350X and the liquid cooled 250R. Can't get them for the 86 200X anywhere. So, but what you can get if you need fork boots for a 200X, which the rebuild on the 350X forks is exactly the same for the 200X, other than the diameter of the forks. The way that they're laid out with the circlip and everything is the same way. If you guys are looking for a quicker video, or you want to reference a few videos, check out my buddy Nick over at West Michigan Motorsports on YouTube, and he's got a video rebuilding his 350X forks. My video is going to be a little bit longer because I'm doing a couple extra steps, guys. I have polished aluminum powder coat from Prismatic Powders. It's the only powder I use is Prismatic. Feel free to reach out to me, garagemc549@gmail.com. I would love a sponsorship from y'all. If not, I pretty much have all your colors anyway. Well, Prismatic makes like 6,000 plus colors. Alright, I'm going to stop rambling on. I have fork oil made by Motul. Why did I pick Motul? It was the most expensive one I could find. So, you know, I like to waste my money and enjoy eating ramen noodles on a daily basis. So, alright, we got our seals, inner seals, dust shields. These, you can't find these anymore. Well, I mean, you can find them used, but they don't make these no more. As far as I know, these are the clamps for the top of the fork boots. Here is the part number for these fork boots, OEM, if you're in search of. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this one. Yes, the forks are different. This is the one for the axle clamp. This is one where it screws into and has the brake caliper mounts, but the internals and how they are rebuilt is the same exact procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one here, and I'll show it to you guys after. So get you a gander. Here's what they look like now. Any fork boot seals or like I said before, the 200X you can't get fork boots for anymore. Curtis from 223cycles.net is reproducing the fork boots for the 86, 87 ATC200X if you need those. Also, you can get your fork rebuild seals from Curtis as well at 223cycles.net. Feel free to go over there and check that out, guys. He is a licensed Kian and Mikuni carburetor dealer. Sells a lot more than just carburetors, guys. A lot more. Check out his stuff, man. You could also find his fork boots on eBay as well. All right, let me get to what I just said I was going to do. Talk to you guys in a few hours for me, 2 seconds for you. All right, guys, I have the right side fork tube disassembled. I had already buffed out the scratches that were in it with my Scotch-Brite wheel. I put it in the sandblaster, prepped it, got it all taped up. This I'm filming now, but it'll be put in towards the end of the video. I just wanted to show you guys how I set up for powder coating. So I got my oven preheating to 375 degrees, which is what Prismatic recommends for this powder at only 10 minutes, which is usually 15 to 20, but okay, we're gonna go ahead and follow their directions there. So here's where I'm at with this fork tube here. We got it hung up, stainless steel wire, which is also supplied from Eastwood Tools. My new powder coat gun, the dual voltage one there. I used to use the Harbor Freight one. This is like $100 for this. The grounding sucks on it. Eastwood, dual voltage. You can either go with 125 kV, or I'm sorry, 15 kV or 25 kV. So 25 kV will be for a larger item, so you can get proper grounding through it, because that's how powder coat works. It gets electrically charged as it blows through the gun. And then there's a negative charge on the metal part that you are spraying the powder to. That's how it sticks to it. And then you disconnect it. Oh, oven's ready. Better stop dragging my feet. And then when you put it in the oven, it melts or flows out to its finished product. Not going to get into too much powder coating in this video, guys. I'm just going to do it. But our next video is going to be me doing the rear and front wheel for the 350X. That'll be next weekend, so you guys will see a little bit more in detail on how I'm going to repair the lips on those wheels, prep them for powder coat them, and then I also have my new tires from Sarwa. They are reproducing the factory tread pattern, which I think looks the best on these machines, and it's starting to rain right now. That's awesome. Let me get busy. Pick back up shortly. All right, guys, here it goes. I just put that in the oven. 375 degrees, and it says for 10 minutes. I usually just do it by how it looks to me, so we'll see what it looks like. So now that I have a good understanding of how these things come apart, I also sandblasted and powder coated the fork tube to the one that I disassembled. It's not put together yet. We're going to do it like a cooking show here. So I'm going to show you how we're going to take apart this left fork tube here. This one. I already have all my other parts already disassembled, cleaned, ran through the ultrasonic cleaner. It took a long time to clean all that stuff. And yo, let me tell you something, man. This stuff here, this disgusting oil that comes out of these things, I know some of you guys watch this with your kids, so I'm not going to say what I think that smells like, but yes, it smells like, use your imagination what that smells like. It's pretty foul, pretty foul. I can only think of one other thing that makes come to mind, but family friendly. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod. We're gonna take this apart. I do have the other fork tube in the oven with the polished aluminum powder. I let you guys get a little peek, just a little peek, but you're gonna get to see it at the end of the video. Don't worry. But this video is not about powder coat. You guys will get to see powder coat and stuff when we do my wheels next weekend. So, all right, set you guys up on tripod. Let's disassemble this thing. Make sure, first thing, make sure you have no air pressure in this fork tube. Sometimes people that, you know, have owned these bikes before, they don't want to rebuild the stuff, and they just go ahead and, you know, pump this thing full of air, and, you know, yeah, that's how they end up getting bent. So, all right, and blowing out seals, obviously. Tripod, like I said, let's get it. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. I put my, found out I could use my Bluetooth thing here as a microphone for now, because the one I bought, for some reason, won't link to this phone. So, all right. We know we have no air pressure in this. I've had this cap off before, so I know damn well that there's no pressure in it. Plus, I could unscrew it with my hand. So, being we know that's like that, first thing we're going to do is, there's a 6mm Allen head under here and a 10mm drain bolt. This is what connects to the dampening rod, and in the manual it actually says to use an impact gun, and I'm usually not a fan of using an impact gun, but the way that this is set up in here, it just spins freely, so you kind of need to do it that way. But let's go ahead and, first things first, let's make sure the Allen head is actually clean, because you're gonna want that socket Allen head with the impact to go in there with very good bite to it. You don't want to go in like, you know, halfway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little pick, make sure that's nice and clean. And I will show you guys all the tools that I have out to do this. It's not that many. It's not as bad as you might think it is. Alright, let's see how that feels now. Alright. There we go. Alright, we got that loose. Let's go ahead and crack our 10 as well. And we will unleash the foul stench of what lies inside of this fork tube. It is not, it's not good. It's not good. Not a fan, guys. Can't say that I'm a fan of the way that this smells. You know? Some things you're like, oh, that doesn't smell bad. This, oh yeah, this smells rank. Should be a copper crush washer on the bottom of this 10mm, and also one on this 6mm. Looks like there isn't one unless it's stuck to the bottom here, which is probably possible. Yep, it's in there. There we go. Go ahead and get rid of those. I don't see, yep, there is one on the 10, very, very worn out and thin. It's, you know, they're cheap, man. You can get a whole case of these things at Harbor Freight, so no need to run old copper crush washers, man. Anything that's got the term crush in it usually means you're gonna have to replace that. Alright, so let me set you guys up with a good view, and let's go ahead and squeeze this lovely scent out of this fork tube here. So you're gonna want to go ahead and take this and put this in a bucket. Yeah, there's a little water already coming out. Just dropped the other crush washer. There it was. I'm also removing the cap off of the top of this, guys. You can't see it in the shot, but just trust me. You can see it just came off, kind of like taking your finger off top of a straw. It released it, so it can. Alright. Let me go ahead and pump this down. Let me get you guys a better angle here. As I'm pushing this down, I'm going to pull out the first spring. It's a short spring. Then right underneath of that is a washer. And then underneath that is another lovely spring. Look at that. What's Emerald Lagasse call it? Smell-o-vision? Yeah. Wish you guys were here. Wish you were here so you can get a nice whiff of this here. It almost looks exactly how it smells. Trust me. Oh my god. And of course my nose is running, so I'm like actually inhaling this right now. And we're gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, like macaroni in the pot, baby. Get your mind out of the gutter, fellas. Alright? And women. I know y'all are sick in the head too sometimes. Usually worse than men. Don't worry about it. And we're just gonna continue doing this. That's probably gonna get me demonetized. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and call that good. We're gonna go ahead and call that good. It's still coming out. Yeah, and you could tell this has definitely had water in it before. Another thing I didn't mention that we have, guys, you see the show us sticker? BlueLineDecals.com, baby. Even those come in the kit. Even the little sticker that goes on the parking brake lever comes in the kit. BlueLineDecals.com. Cheaper than you think it would be. So next thing we're gonna do over here at the bench, I'm gonna hold you guys in my arms here so you can see. I'm actually doing this looking through the camera screen. So don't mind if I look a little unorthodox here or uncoordinated. But I want to make sure you guys get to see this. So I'm using a very thin flathead. Just trying to get in here, trying to put most of the pressure towards the seal, obviously. I don't want to nick this piece of the fork tube, even though you won't see it anyway, because the fork boots actually slot into this groove here. So we're going to pull this off, and I'm going to remove what is known as the dust seal or dust cover. Right there. You can see that was doing a good job, huh? Yeah. All right, I'm going to throw that over in there somewhere. Now, in here, there is, if we could see it, I might have to pause this and go clean this out, but there is a circlip in there underneath all of that BS down in there. If this thing will focus, well, you're not going to be able to see it, but trust me, there's a circlip down there that looks just like the one that came out of the other one. So, this is one where you squeeze it together and it compresses, and then you can pull it out of the groove. So this is like an inner circlip, not one that goes around something and clips like on an axle carrier. So it's the other way around. You're going to need a pair of circlip removers, ones that squeeze in. Usually, most of them come either way. So if I was to put this head on this side, it would open these. It would open them instead of squeezing them together, which is how it works on the other two holes. It would go in these two holes if you were to put it on the other side. Or you have a set like this, where like this squeezes together, or you can flip it, and now it pulls it apart. So these are a little bit too, in the words of Mike Sabo, cumbersome to get in there. So good thing I grabbed these when I was at the store the other day. Like, yep, might need those. Well, not the other day, but it was a while ago. This is actually the first time I'm using these. I usually do that a lot. I buy stuff I don't need just because I think I'm going to, and then I don't need it for like a year, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I bought that. And it's still in the package. All right, let me take this thing outside and scrub that down, and I'll show you guys how we take this out. Once we take that circlip out, we're just going to hold this and take this part of the tube here and just smash, smash, and it's going to pull that other inner seal out that looks like this one here. And there's also a little ring under that too, which I just now remembered. I got to clean that too. This goes to the other side. So, all right, let me clean that up. Let me wipe my fingers off before I touch the camera, and we'll pick up when we can actually see what we're doing. Real quick before I forget, the dampening rod can now come out of here before I go rinse this off. So you'll see that cap down there with that that tasty fluid that was in this thing. Basically just took it like this and gently, I repeat, gently, did that till this came out. Oh my god, that is disgusting. Okay, there should be a spring too. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, that's tasty. Yeah. All right, let's. Here, you wanna put your nose up there? Go ahead. Yeah, just like it looks. Just like it looks. All right, let me go clean this stuff off, guys. All right, now that that's clean, you guys can kind of see the eyelets right there. That's what I'm going to go ahead and try and get, and keep using the screen at the same time. Sometimes these get a little seized in the grooves in there, so you're going to have to kind of wiggle it free a little bit. So, just so you know. All right. Okay, there's your circlip. You might want to try and do this like the game at the boardwalk, where you don't hit the edges. So, all right. Now that is now out of there and is right here, That's got to get cleaned. All right, so yeah. Let me reposition you guys, and you can see how I'm doing this by hand. All right, now we got that circlip out of there. There is the other seal, like I showed you guys in there. Looks like this one, and also that other thick washer that's underneath of it. So should come out together. So basically, just you could either A, use some soft jaws and put this into vise. I never like putting stuff like this in a vise, even with soft jaws. This is just cast aluminum. You know, you can, you know, maybe grab it like by here or something, but it doesn't take that much force. I said it doesn't take that much force. Okay, maybe it took a little bit more force than I remembered it taking. Or maybe because this one's just disgusting. That's why you should always clean stuff like this, guys, before you take stuff apart. At least as best as you can. So, alright. So there's that seal and that other washer. This copper ring. I believe you still can get these new, but I mean, you know, we're just replacing seals here and maybe a couple other things, but, you know, among other things. But you can go ahead and throw that over there. If you're wondering where that among other things came from, Tom Segura, stand-up, favorite comedian of all time, except for Richard Pryor. But favorite modern day. Oh, okay. There's that other aluminum part that the dampening rod sits into. I'll show you how that sits in there with the clean one. I'll show you. You guys will see it when it goes together. So this goes in the tube, the part we just took out with the spring, and then underneath the tube. So you would put this back in first, and then slide your tube in there with your new seal and everything. This catches in there, and that's where that 6mm Allen head bolt goes through. You guys will get to see all this when we put the other one together. I believe it is. The cookies are fresh out of the oven. I can smell them. And let's go grab the other fork tube that I just powder coated. And yeah, I'll do this one on my own time tomorrow. Same procedure though for both. Let's get it. Alright guys, let's get a quick glimpse of this polished aluminum powder coat from Prismatic Powders applied with the Eastwood dual voltage hot coat gun. Oh man. Yeah, I'd say that was a good choice right there, fellas. Man, am I super pleased with this polished aluminum powder coat. Yeah, whoa, don't drool on that. Get away from the TV, fellas. Man, I really want to go ahead and put my new Showa sticker on there right off the bat. But, you know, the one we got from BlueLineDecals.com, Blue Line Graphics. Very, very comprehensive kit, guys. For a lot of bikes, man. I got it for the 185S up there. I got stuff for the 200X in already, which is right here. You know, right here. You could even say, it says 86, 200X, decals, Blue Line, of course. There's just, you know, there's other options, but, you know, many try, but none are as good as Bruce over at Blue Line. And I'm not even sponsored. That's just, you know what I mean? So I'm not getting paid to say that, you know? Anyway, yeah, man. I'm about to put this together, but I'm just like staring at it. I think it came out excellent. I had a little deflection in the powder up here on the backside, but mainly probably because it started raining when I was about to powder coat, which is not a good idea to do when it's raining, but like, come on, man. I could have polished these and got them to look that good, but I'd be always constantly polishing them and cleaning them, and I didn't want to do that, you know? I just want the stuff to just look good. So, all right, let me put you guys back on a tripod because I need both my hands, not just one, so I can point at stuff. And yeah, let's start putting this puppy back together, man. So I'm not going to be putting my fork oil in this video because I am waiting for both of these bolts to come brand new from Honda. Can't put this together and have it look this good and, you know, reuse this disgusting rusty drain bolt. I mean, you could, but that's just not who I am. So, yes, I could reuse this one. And you know what? I could probably throw this in for now, and then I'll just tip the forks upside down. But there's really no point in, you know, trying to do that. You get 10 ounces of fork oil in each fork. So 10 ounces per fork. As always, double check your service manual. Don't just take my word for it. But, you know, I don't just wing it and tell you guys what I think. I tell you what I've already researched and know myself. So, you know, but still, you should always, you know, don't believe what you see on the internet. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, first thing to go back in was the last thing to come out. So, this little guy right here is going to get dropped down in there, and you got to do it kind of carefully. So, what was I? Yeah. So, it should just fall into place, just like it did. All right. Next thing to go in, I'm going to slide the fork tube in, just like the other one came out. Get this in there, and yes, all this is nice and clean, ready to go. And we'll get that. I don't want to drop this. This tube here is a little heavy, so you go drop it down. I don't want to, like, you know, oblong that little aluminum cup that just went in there or anything like that. Next thing to go in is going to be the dampening rod. So it's going to go in with the tapered side in, so it goes into that little aluminum cup that we just put in. Don't forget your spring. Do not forget this spring. Alright. Get that to slide down. And you don't need to tip this thing, you know, vertical. Just get it in there, and then let her slide on down. I don't know where I'm getting junk on this thing already. Alright. So, now that that's down in there, just heard it seat. Okay. I am going to go for the, where is it? Let's not forget this thick washer that goes underneath our first seal that's going to go in. We'll drop this puppy down on there. That goes in there just like so. And we're going to make sure she goes down in there a little bit. That copper split ring is kind of holding me up, this one here. So we got to get this to feed down in there. I'm going to go ahead and just lightly, gingerly. This is copper. Do not bang on this with a hammer and all that stuff. So once we start putting that other seal in there, we can, you know, use a tool to push all this stuff down. So now that ring's on there, I kind of can tap on this a little bit. So I'm going to pour some of my oil into a little cap. I'm going to lube up my seals, and then we'll pick back up. That was not a simple task. I ended up lubing up the seal, and as a matter of fact, guys, this seal that goes in here, you know, anytime you're putting seals or, you know, parts or anything like that in, the writing that's on the seal, you'll notice one side does not have writing, the other side does. So the side that has writing is going to face up, so like this. So I got that copper ring to go in there. I put this seal over it with some lubrication on the inside and on the outside of it. I just took a Q-tip and dipped it in my fork oil here. Slid this down, and it kind of, I was trying to do it so I could see what I was doing to show you guys on camera, and it just slid right into place. So it just only has to go down far enough to expose the groove that circlip goes into. And I put the circlip back in just exactly how we took it out. And being that it's nice and clean in there, it went right in. I did rub a little anti-seize on there, even though it, you know, kind of had fork oil on it already, but it's not going to hurt nothing. So that's in there like that. Now, next item that we're going to be installing here is our dust seal. So this is the dust seal here. It's pretty self-explanatory how this goes in. It doesn't go in like this. It goes in like this, just like you would see on a dirt bike or another ATC that has shocks anyway. So we're going to take a long Q-tip, dip it on in there, and I'm going to lube up the section where it is going to go into. You don't need a crazy amount, just, you know, you don't want to put it in there dry. You know what I mean? It's not nice. It's not nice to put things in dry. All right. Also going to lube up where it's going to slide on the shaft as well of the shock or fork tube, however you want to say it. Did you know what I meant? Cool. All right. So I'm gonna get this in this orientation here. Slid on. Push it all the way down. Now we just click her on into place, man. Alright, so next thing that goes in, now that we have our damping rod, the cup, our seals are in, circlips in, thick washers in, first thing to go in is this super long spring. This goes in here like so. We can keep you guys in the shot here. I don't want to move you far away and then you can't see what I'm doing here. Alright, we can pull our tube up a little bit. Now, next thing that goes, do not forget this. This is the washer that goes between the long spring and the short spring. We'll put that in there. And we'll pull the tube up a little bit more. And then take a guess. Yep, the next spring goes in. This goes in there like that. And we just keep on cruising up. Now, at this point, I am getting the other billet caps from Winter's Machining. But, for video purposes, I also bought the O-ring and new Schrader valve that is going to go on here. So, I'm going to take our new O-ring, OEM Honda, and get a little oil on this puppy here. Rub it around. And we're going to feed this on the cap, just like so. There's that. Okay. Now, Schrader valve. Kind of like a tire, but these are kind of different at the same time. This goes in there like that, right there. Get yourself a Schrader valve installation tool. These are cheap. And we're going to screw this down. Matt, why did you buy these parts for this if you got nice billet machined ones coming? Well, I'm kind of a parts hoarder, you know, and I'll probably need these one day. So that's in there like that. Alright, now we can go ahead and you kind of have to push down on this and turn at the same time. So get it, just to get it started. And in my mind, I'm thinking if we tighten this down, spring pressure will push against those springs so we can get that 6mm bolt in the bottom. Like I said, I'm not going to be putting my fork oil in yet, so I put this on just because I don't want junk to get in there. We'll go ahead and throw our 6mm in the bottom here, if we can get that to catch. Make sure we're lined up here. Kind of got to mess around with it a little bit to get that in there. Don't forget your crush washer, guys. I am just assembling this so it's assembled until I get my new fork caps and the drain and this 6mm. Alright, also the 10mm drain bolt. Don't forget that. Wait your crush washer. I should be getting these very soon. Think they're shipped out, but you know, this is just goes back to the bane of my existence, always waiting for parts. And this was the video I was planning on making this weekend, so here it is. All right, next thing we could do, guys, we could dress this puppy out, man. let me make sure my hands are nice and wiped on my jeans, aka clean, garage clean anyway. I love opening OEM Honda parts. It's like one of my favorite pastimes. Just is. All right. Ooh, crispy! Crispy Johns. All right. You go ahead and obviously the large side goes down and the small side goes up. Not trying to talk to you like you're idiots, but some people are, man. Some people be like, I don't know, why doesn't this fit? I don't know. Those were the people that were trying to put the square in the circle hole in that game that everybody should have mastered by the time they were 2. The latest. And then these just slide. I said these just slide over. At least they should anyway. Oh yeah. Listen, man, if you can't appreciate OEM fork boots on an 80s ATC, whether it be a 250R or a 350X or a 250SX or whatever, you're on the wrong channel, okay? You're on the wrong channel. Let's not forget our OEM little clamp. Put this puppy on down there. Some of you guys might be thinking, what else could we possibly put on this fork to dress this puppy out, man? Some of you that were paying attention go, BlueLineDecals.com. If I could even do this. And of course, I don't have a Phillips head sitting here. So, little tiny flathead do. Look at that. Sometimes you just gotta improvise. Sometimes you gotta improvise. If I can get this little clamp to go on here, we'd be styling, fellas. And women. I know you women are watching too, okay? Oh yeah, look at that. Pull this puppy up a little bit for photo purposes. Somewhere around there. Yeah. Yes, I'm getting excited. Getting excited. Can't wait to get this bike put together and done. A lot of money went in this one, guys. A lot of money went in this one. Trust me, and I ain't done spending yet. Alright, so let me put on the piece de resistance with you guys, and we'll call this video good. Alright, so since we were paying attention to before we stripped this lower fork tube, we know, well, obviously this is the right fork tube, so we're going to use the one for the right. We're going to put it right where it went, man. So, let's go ahead and wipe this off a little bit. Make sure there's no greasy, disgusting fingerprints on here. And we're going to grab our Showa decal from BlueLineDecals.com. And we're going to square this up. And bam! Look at that. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but that is one good looking fork right there. Almost looks like the OEM color, doesn't it? Somebody's going to be like, where'd you get new old stock forks, Matt? Right in my garage. That's where I got them. So, alright, garage gang. I hope that video helped you, or was at least entertaining to see how something could be transformed. It is still the same day. Yes, I started around noon. I have no clue what time it is now. I'll tell you right now. 7:30, Saturday night. Wasn't that bad, man. Wasn't that bad. I'll be honest. I was a little apprehensive to do this. I've never done forks before. I've always thought it was like just some crazy task to get it done. Really wasn't that bad, man. You know, if you got something like this, man, you know, order the parts, do what you got to do, you know. Grow a set, and, you know, I'm talking to myself, too, at the same time here. Do what you got to do, man. The results, this is like my favorite part of doing this, guys. This is very, very satisfying, and if you've never done something like this, you probably don't understand what I'm saying, but I hope you can at least imagine or somewhat understand what I'm saying. And if you have, you know what I meant. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Drop a comment below, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Next week, we will be refinishing the wheels for the 350X, and we'll be getting this build going. Also got a bunch of stuff coming for the ATC350X. You know, the one that I bought to part out and then changed my mind. Yeah. It's just how I am, man. I don't know what to say. So, but maybe that's why you guys are here watching, because you like this stuff too. So, I'll see you guys in the garage next time. Also, check out West Michigan Motorsports video on his 350X shocks too. And, yeah. I'll see you guys in the garage next time. Don't forget, 223cycles.net, fork boots, seals, all that good stuff. And BlueLineDecals.com for all your OEM replica to the T graphics. See you guys in the garage next time. Peace!